Okay, well, let's start this. I suppose. Okay, here we are in the backyard again. Finally got to get outside, but I wanted to do this video here. I wanted to do outdoors so that if I make a screw up or say something, lightning will hit me and strike me dead. This is a discussion about Sundance, and right off the top, I want to say this is about a Sundance. This is not about all Sundances. Sundancing is a popular religious experience now, and I have noticed that so many people, they all point and they'll say Sundance and Sundance this and Sundance that, but that's why I wanted to do this video is, I went to a number of different Sundances. There are some similarities, but in true nature of the fact is that none of them are the same, and they're all individual expressions, as they should be. You see, these communities, they have these activities, and they do them for the support of the community. And when we come in from the outside and we look at these things and we say, oh, this is a Sundance. Well, no, maybe it's not. Maybe it has something to do completely with something different. And so the misunderstanding of the word Sundance came down from, of course, the same place that most of everything else got stupefied is, scholarly research, poor scholarly research, in fact. And one of the things that I want to set straight here is, in my research of Native American things, I found many shortcuts people took, and Sundancing the terms and all of the things that people have lumped into that box. The scholarly research has done very much the same thing to that event. So as time goes on, I want to explain that Sundancing is the universe. Of course, here's Lucy, showing up as expected, but Sundancing is a day-to-day, minute-by-minute ritual that takes you to the ceremony, and the ceremony is in the summer, and there may be some similarities, tribes to tribe, Sundance leader to Sundance leader is a center pole, fasting, singing, people who are sick come sometimes. My dad went to a Sundance in, I believe it was 1941, and prior, when he was going to the Second World War, and they prayed for him safe return at that Sundance. That was the first Sundance for the Crow people in return from when they quit doing it, pre-colonization. But Sundancing, as I was taught, Lucy, go on now, go eat your bone. She liked to have her cameo experiences, but it's good. You have to learn to be patient and stop sometimes and think about others. It's a problem. But Sundancing for me was an experience. It was an experience to the highest physical and spiritual quest I've had, next to fasting in the mountains, which is another thing. But Sundancing was fasting, no food and water for a number of days. Tend to be in the heat of the summer, but the first Sundance I ever saw was at Fort Washakie, and I believe it was in the 60s. But we didn't go to it out of respect for those people who, are doing things for the community, and, some of the support for Sundance also, earns the recognition, of having participated in the Sundance. So many times people will say, the Sundancer is the Sundance, but it's not. It's a lot of people, and it's a lot of things. And I hear often so many times that people would come to the Sundance from the outside, and somebody from the community, because the community is so generous, a community member who may have needed to go in that Sundance will have stepped aside so an outsider could take place. And I've always felt bad about that when I went to Sundancing. But Sundancing is, the music, and it's the tree, and it's all these things, and it's the dog, but nobody is supposed to be there doing, human stuff. They're supposed to be doing, focusing. And go get your thing. Go get it. Some of the focusing for a Sundancer is every day. You get up and you look at the sun coming and awaken you. And as I was told, you get to do that for 4 Sundances, which generally means 4 years. And hopefully after those Sundances you will have straightened some of your life out and found some prosperity for yourself. But you never ask for anything in a Sundance. You're asking things for the people. And now I have a wasp here, which is not favorable. So Sundance is tops of a religious experience. It is nothing like anything. People try to say that Sundance is like Easter or something of that nature, and it's not true at all. Sundance is a completely separate religion, and it's very, very powerful, and has respect for those who respect it, which means is that if you are feeding the people, or you are a drummer or a singer, or you're a faster from the outside, wherever you are, or if you're just recognizing the people throughout the year, whatever it may be, the Sundance looks after you. And so as we look at that, it takes us into another form of how we are represented to nature and our place in nature. So, that's sort of the bare bones of some of what I experienced in Sundancing. But I traveled for miles and miles with my uncle, and I Sundanced many places, and it was good, all of it. It taught me lots of things, and has provided me with all kinds of necessities. But to understand this is when you go, if you go and you are invited, that's 2 different approaches to a Sundance. If someone invites you to a Sundance, you take gifts. If you just go, you're probably not invited. Sorry. You want to stay your distance if you're just there, unless it's an open invitation by the sponsor or the Sundance leader or whoever is in charge. And that may be difficult to find it sometimes. Needless to be said, if you go and you're invited, you want to listen and pay attention, but don't be recording and making notes about things, because there's been a lot of that, and it hasn't worked out well. So as time goes on, just remember, sundancing is for the community. It's for those who need from the community, and in that community they may ask you to represent the family because they have no one else to do that, and that's a great honor, and people will appreciate that. But it's time for people not to just show up and go into it and then make others unhappy, especially from the community. Anyway, my voice is about to go on this. I hope it's all good. This is Lucy the dog. She's well now to a point, but I'm tired of sticking my finger down her throat with pills. Okay, bye.